Busiest get-up morning we've had in a very long time. All 32 teams were there on Friday at the Colorado Showcase to watch Shedeur Sanders holding a throwing session, showing off his signature accuracy and ball placement. Had only one off-target throw, according to our Field Yates. Sanders is the 14th ranked player in this class, according to Scouts Inc. And when his workout was done, he made his pitch to the NFL.
All I need is opportunity. Simple. Whatever franchise want to change their franchise, and there's no doubt who to go with. I've done it over and over and over, so you'll be a fool not to pick me.
So he is confident, and that has never been in doubt. We've got the Dans this morning, Graziano and Orlovsky. Danny, Orlovsky, you told me on Friday that this was as complicated a quarterback evaluation as you have ever made. That was before the workout on Friday. How, if at all, did what he did on Friday impact what you think and what the NFL will think?
Nothing. I still believe, Greeny, it's a very difficult evaluation. I still think quarterback 3 is a lot closer to quarterback 2 than the public perception. The workout was good. Everything that you would expect from Shedeur off of his tape showed. He was in rhythm. He was in time. He threw it really well. I actually thought he threw the ball downfield pretty darn good in that workout. But the one thing that I think myself and a lot of people really wanted to see was him just drive a ball. Are they still a calling card of Shedeur Sanders' game?
Graz, speaking of calling, I know you're talking to literally everybody around the National Football League. What are they saying?
It's very similar to what you're hearing from Dano there. Like, if you went into Friday's workout feeling a certain way about Shedeur Sanders, your opinion probably did not change based on what happened to those here. And I don't think that he did. It doesn't mean he can't do it at the next level, but what it means is if you had concerns about him going into Friday, those probably were not allayed. And if you liked him enough to take him at, say, 2 or 3 on Friday, then that probably didn't change either.
Go ahead, Dan.
Yeah, so one of the things, I don't know if you guys saw it, that went all over social media was the conversation around Shedeur and patting the football. If you saw some of the highlights from his workout, he's a guy that pats the ball before he throws it, and there's this big battle of does it matter or not. The main thing is, one, you better have elite arm strength to get away with it consistently in the league. That's not something Shedeur has. Or you better have insane timing and accuracy, insane timing and ball placement like Tom Brady did. And Shedeur has elements of that. So the whole patting the football craze that kind of took off after his workout, I do think is a little bit bigger than the reality of playing in the NFL.
So to be clear, the patting the football just adds an extra whatever it is, fraction of a second to the entire process. And in the National Football League, that fraction of a second can make all the difference in the world. So, Graziano, the first thing Dan said here, that Orlovsky said here, was a lot of people think quarterback 3 is a lot closer to quarterback 2. What sorts of things are you hearing about? We have Jackson Dart sort of looming out there. We have the Giants at 3. We have the Raiders at 6, the Jets at 7, the Saints at 9. What sorts of things are you hearing?
Yeah, Jackson Dart's been an interesting guy here in this process. You know, he did more at the Combine than these other guys did. Teams like that. The Giants have done some work on him, but I don't think it's with the idea of taking him at 3. I think that's if the Giants have the second pick in the second round. Do you take somebody like that there or try and move back into the first? The Steelers have done a lot of work on Jackson Dart. They're picking at 21. Shedeur Sanders could theoretically be long gone by then. So I think I agree with Dan's point based on the teams I've been talking to. Cam Ward seems like the surefire number 1 quarterback, likely number 1 pick in this draft at this point. But, you know, Shedeur Sanders and Jackson Dart and that next group of guys, yeah, maybe he is a little bit closer to them than he is to Cam Ward at this point in the process. But I say this every year. It only takes one team to fall in love. If the Giants decided over the weekend that that's their guy, then he probably goes 3.
You have 2 teams, Dan?
I know 2 teams that love Jackson Dart.
You know of 2 teams that love Jackson Dart. Okay, well, that's...
you're not going to reveal them.
I can't.
Okay.
You know that.
Well, then the question is, where are they? Just tell me where they're picking in the draft, and I'll extrapolate it out from there. We'll see. Look, this is going to be fascinating. We are counting it down 2.5 weeks until we're all in Green Bay. Guys, stay close. It's the busiest.
The NFL draft from Green Bay, Wisconsin is just 18 days away as we turn our attention to the quarterbacks at the top. And to do that, we say good morning None other than Jeremy Fowler is joining us for everything we need to know about the top of the draft. And so, as I mentioned, NFL draft 18 days away. And our draft analyst, Matt Miller, told us yesterday that he does not have a first-round grade on Cam Ward. I can't believe that. Yet everyone thinks the Titans are going to draft him #1 overall. And so, what do you make of that, Jeremy?
Well, the Tennessee Titans desperately need a quarterback. They do like Cam Ward a lot, not only from his upside perspective on the field, his arm strength, his movability, his durability. They believe that off the field, he is a fierce competitor. They feel like he's a really good person. In their interviews with him and their private workouts with him, their exchanges with him have been really good. So everything is positive. That said, I do not sense that the Titans have made a firm determination yet. They know players like pass rusher Abdul Carter, Travis Hunter out of Colorado are those possibly generational type players, that term generational you throw around. So they've been looking around, but they did cancel their private workout with Shedeur Sanders, which tells a lot about how they feel from a quarterback perspective and how the rest of the league feels. That it's Cam Ward as QB1, then a pretty big gap, then the rest of the field.
Okay, well, let's continue with the pretty big gap, because then sitting at #2 are the Browns. Who do you think's catching their attention with #2?
Well, the Browns have been very mysterious throughout this entire process. I do believe GM Andrew Berry is liking that, that sort of mystery here around the Browns and what they could do, because they've looked at a bevy of options. So I do know this. They've spent a lot of time with Abdul Carter, the pass rusher out of Penn State. They've gotten to know him very well. He has definitely felt the love from the Browns at every level of the organization, getting to know a lot of those people. So I do believe he's in strong consideration. There also is some buzz of late about Travis Hunter and that dynamic with him being so good and showing himself as a receiver at his pro day. The Browns are one of the teams that look at him as a wide receiver. So those two players are under consideration. They're on the short list, as is Shedeur Sanders, I'm told. They are still considering him, even though there isn't a lot of momentum for him to go #2 overall right now, at least talking to people around the league.
Okay, so the Browns are literally all over the place. Defense, quarterback, and a two-way player. Speaking of that two-way player and Travis Hunter, Giants go #3. What's the word on Travis Hunter possibly landing there with New York?
Well, talking to people that were at Colorado's Pro Day on Friday, they believe that the Giants will either go...
A major speculation has just emerged regarding a possible trade between the Kansas City Chiefs and the Minnesota Vikings in the upcoming NFL Draft, and I'm going to tell you everything you need to know about it. The Chiefs, with an aggressive strategy, might take advantage of the Vikings' number 24 pick to strengthen their roster and acquire key players. Stay tuned, because this move could surprisingly change the dynamic of the first round. Before we dive into this potential trade, it's worth highlighting a recent strategy from the Chiefs in the last few drafts. In recent years, Kansas City has shown aggressiveness in trading picks to move up in the first rounds. In 2022, for example, they moved up to secure Trent McDuffie, and last year, they traded to select Xavier Worthy. These moves have been crucial in shaping the team in a way that goes beyond simply picking players. Now, with a draft full of potential, the Chiefs may be ready for another bold step. Kansas City's strategy of moving up in the draft is something we've seen happen in previous years, and it has paid off. In 2022, the team traded up to select Trent McDuffie, a cornerback who became a key player on the defense. The following year, with the selection of Xavier Worthy, the Chiefs added depth to their wide receiver core. Now, with the situation of their left tackle still uncertain, a trade for the Vikings' number 24 pick could be the key to securing a future starting offensive lineman, such as Josh Simmons from Ohio State or Kelvin Banks from Texas. The move could also impact other strategic positions, like the defense. And you, Chiefs fans, what do you think of this strategy of moving up in the draft? Could a trade with the Vikings bring the team's future left tackle? Or perhaps a major boost for the defense? Leave your opinion in the comments. We want to know what you think about this move. Do you believe Kansas City is making the right decisions to ensure long-term success? Now, let's get to the breaking news that just happened. A move that could be a game-changer in the draft, not just for the Chiefs, but for the entire first round. The trade with the Vikings has major implications and could redefine Kansas City's future in their search for reinforcements for the season. Stay tuned, because what's coming next could surprise you. The Kansas City Chiefs have their eyes on the number 24 pick in the draft, currently held by the Minnesota Vikings, and this could mean a major move in the first round. The proposal is to trade with the Vikings to acquire a crucial player for the offensive line or even a defensive reinforcement, such as cornerback Jody Brown from Texas. This trade would not only help the Chiefs solve the left tackle issue, a key position in protecting Patrick Mahomes, but it would also strengthen other areas of the team, ensuring players who can contribute immediately to the team's success. This trade with the Vikings could have a significant impact not only on the draft but also on the Chiefs' season. If Kansas City secures the number 24 pick, they could land a top-tier left tackle, which would be crucial in protecting Patrick Mahomes and ensuring a solid offensive line. Additionally, by acquiring more picks, the Chiefs would have greater flexibility to bolster other areas of the team, such as the defense, which also needs reinforcements. For the Vikings, this move would mean a significant return in terms of extra picks, which could help them improve their roster in other positions of need. And you, Chiefs fan, what do you think of this potential trade? Do you believe securing a left tackle in the draft would be the right move to strengthen Mahomes' offensive line? Or do you think the Chiefs should invest more in another position? Leave your opinion in the comments. We're curious to know how you see this move and the impact it could have on the team's future. So, what do you all think about this possible trade between the Chiefs and the Vikings? Let's keep an eye on the moves because the draft promises to be full of surprises. Stay tuned for more news on the Kansas City Chiefs and other moves in the market. See you in the next video.